Hello, I'm so excited. We've got Tiffany Hudson here talking to a great songwriter, a great worship leader, an incredible voice that she has. Boy, when I listen to Tiffany's voice, my heart melts. And now we get a chance to get behind her life a little bit, talk to her about songwriting, worship leading, life in Elevation Church, all those great things. Stay tuned for this one. This one's going to be fun. Hey, Tiffany, in the bright sun.
The bright sun of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Right. Well, I should just say to everybody, Tiffany doesn't actually have this orange skin. You're sitting under an orange umbrella, right? So there you go. Funny.
I'd like to say I was a little tanner, but no.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right. Okay, well, I have a funny story for you, Tiffany, just to start this off. Is I thought we were going to do this interview on Friday. So I was all set up on Friday, but I was at a lake property at our cabin about 4 hours away. So I had it all set up. I had the fireplace cooking in behind me, the lake in behind me. I mean, I was going to do the outdoor shot like you would never have believed. But here I am back in my office and you're outside. Wow. So that's kind of fun. So where are you?
Places, but I don't have the lake view.
That's right. Well, I'm glad you're outside. I love just having like chill conversations like this and really looking forward to getting to know you a little bit. And I just want to say how much I love, like I said in the little intro there, I love your voice, your heart. I see you lots of times when I'm watching Elevation, worship on the video or whatever. A lot of times I see you and notice you not even in the forefront. You're there in the background so often, just lending support. It's like you're a team member. You're not just there for the limelight, just whatever it is. And I just appreciate that. I can tell that about your heart and spirit. So.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot here.
That's great. Hey, I have some kind of cool news. We just sent a song to Orchestration, and only songs that really make it through the ranks. I mean, it's got to be a great song to go from chord chart to piano vocal, all these different things. And we just put Lamb to Orchestration. So that's a song you led on, you wrote it. And look at this. I'm going to show you right here. This is you, Tiffany Hudson. Here we go. And these are all, we've got piano vocals, vocal sheets, all these different parts. Look at that. And there's the orchestration for Lamb. Such a beautiful song.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't it great to see it? I mean, I have to admit, I'm a bit of a nerd about stuff like this. I love watching my own website just to see the music like this. And, look at this. Little violin parts. We got violin. We've got, I can go to like all the parts here. Cello, double bass, string, all these kind of things that just, and I don't know, I'm sure you realize this, but we actually supply music for lots of small churches, but lots of big churches with full choir, full orchestra, all that kind of stuff, singing these great songs. So we're just happy to support people like you who write the songs and put them together. So it is neat to see it.
That means so much. Truly,
yeah.
I'm so moved by orchestra. I'm so moved
by
any kind of string section. Yes.
Oh.
So to even see the possibility of churches being able to add just beautiful music and strings and orchestras to a song like this is like truly so moving to me. So I cannot wait to hear the video.
I love it. Yes. Yeah. Well, just to give you a little background, I'm just going to spend a little time on our site here to show you that if we go back to, like, we've got this page with Tiffany. Let me see. Let me just go back to Tiffany. There we are. All your songs are here in the albums that you're featured on. But like I was just saying, that we can't orchestrate every song. We have to watch to see what songs our church is really kind of grabbing onto. And something I've kind of noticed is you write a lot of the songs that make it all the way through the ranks. So kudos to you. You must have you just have a great team. Obviously, Elevation is an incredible network of amazing songwriters and worship leaders, which you're a part of. But it doesn't go unnoticed that you're still a voice on those songs. It's like they wouldn't have written Graves to Gardens, My Testimony, Never Lost. And then what was this one? Might Get Loud. I mean, you don't look like, a heavy metal hard rock worship leader, but I was just like, way to go. Just great variety. So,
Oh my goodness.
isn't that kind of cool to
It's an
see?
It is. It's an honor. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of a lot of amazing people and
Yeah.
getting to sit in rooms with people that are just brilliant. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
an honor to learn from them.
Well, I would love to talk just about that. Like let's just build up other people in our community and our team. I want to hear a little bit about the team that you sit on, how you kind of function in there, and maybe some people that you really just admire, look up to, who inspire you, who you love to work with. Do you want to just give us a little window into your world? Because like I said before, you're not always on the forefront. A lot of the time you're in the team, supporting the team, you're a team member. So let's speak to people that are just like that on the team. They need to be faithful, consistent, just there. And I feel like you're a good voice to speak to that. So give us a window into your world.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Well, like I said, like it's just been such a pleasure getting to be a part of this team.
Yeah.
I came on staff at Church maybe like 4.5 years ago, and then kind of just did a few years at one of our campuses just leading worship. Like we have a lot of campuses at Elevation, so I was
Yeah.
there for 3 years, just every Sunday building the church, leading worship, leading our teams, and planning the sets and all those kind of things that probably a lot of the listeners here do week in and week out.
Yeah.
And so that just getting to build a church is such a big part of my heart. And so
Mm-hmm.
getting to even see some of the reach of our church through the songs and through our worship ministry has been so mind-boggling to like know that there's so
Mm-hmm.
many people, like songs go so many places we could never go.
Yeah.
And so that's been really cool to see, but there's plenty of people behind the scenes that really make it all happen. We've got a lot of worship leaders. Like I said, like we have 20 campuses. We have a worship leader
Wow.
at every campus that
Yeah.
is just being faithful, leading worship. And, we have our travel team that will kind of go out and do some events and stuff. But what a lot of people don't know is like our church is so much like church is the priority, and we're back every Sunday. So whether there is an event, across the country, like our priority is to be at church and lead worship. And
Yeah.
so we all have full-time jobs at the church. We all are in different areas of the church. So I know I'm involved with some songwriting stuff, also help lead a worship apprenticeship at our church, kind of raising up and developing younger worship leaders. It's a big
Yeah.
part of our hearts and our culture here. And so we do a lot of different things, and
Mm-hmm.
probably more than what people see of just writing the songs or singing them. And so yeah, that's a little bit of the behind the scenes.
Beautiful. Well, a thing I noticed too is quite a rich variety of songs that you've been a part of. Like they're not all stylistically the same. From Lamb, which is just I mean that's going to be beautiful with the strings, and it's like a softer song, and your voice is just a beautiful presence in songs like that. But then like Might Get Loud and Graves to Gardens, and then Never Lost, There Is a King. They're like, I feel like you're enriching Christian music and expanding our palette, beyond just 1, 4, 5, 6 type of chord patterns. So are you that musically rich? I mean, I don't know, but where does some of that come from? Or what's the part that you play in writing those in the teams that you sit with? Tell me about that.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, it's such a team effort writing songs.
Yeah.
So it's always hard to remember like what piece everybody brings to the puzzle, or
Yeah.
what you bring to the table each time. But yeah, I mean every song has such a different story. Like you're in a room with Brandon Lake and our pastor, who's such an amazing writer, and Chris, another worship leader that's been writing
Yeah.
for years. It's so incredible. Like again, I feel like I'm the newest person in the room, and I'm just learning a lot of the times and observing. But I feel like what I do bring to the table is heart and conviction, and I really like love to sing lyrics that we really like want to that just want to bring us closer to Jesus and closer to like actually what it means to follow the Lord and walk with him. And so musically, I will say I'm not very creative with chords. Like there's other brilliant minds that will bring some musicians in and they'll workshop and make it sound amazing. But I think like my favorite thing about songwriting rooms is really just getting to the heart of what we're saying in these love songs to the Lord, whether it's, you know, sounds like a rock song. It really is saying like, God, there's nothing better than you. Like, and I want to mean that. I want to mean that with every part. So every song looks a little different, but it's been so cool to learn even how to write a little bit out of the box. Like we have a song like Dancing, which doesn't really fit into a normal, you know, church service or a worship song, but it's a beautiful love song to the Lord. And so I think there's so many different expressions that he loves. Like I think he wants it all. Like he created music and heaven is filled with music. And so I think the more that we just kind of tap into all of that, like into God as creator, like there's just no like limits on what we could create.
Yeah. Do you ever feel, I'm just asking you to be maybe a little vulnerable here. Do you ever feel intimidated being in a presence of like what feels like a bunch of songwriting giants or musical giants, and just intimidated to be like, where's my voice going to fit in? I don't want to just disappear in this room. Give us a window into that.
The answer is 100% all the time, always.
All right.
I
Good.
feel intimidated by, you know, some rooms I get to be in, and truly it's by the grace of God, because based on my own merit, especially in the beginning, like I didn't deserve to be asked to come into a room, or I didn't have a list of songs that I had done that were successful to get me in the room. And so truly it's, but that doesn't necessarily negate the insecurity that you feel. Like I a lot of times feel like I don't have any business getting to be with certain people or write with certain people or whatever it might look like, but 100% that's like a part of the human experience. I think of like it's just a part of it. Like I don't know, and I think I have to remind myself, okay, well God put me here, and that's the only confidence I can stand on, because something I feel like the Lord showed me kind of early on is if, you know, I put myself in the room, then it's me that has to keep me there, and that's exhausting. Like I'm always going to be proving and striving and proving why I need to be there and that I'm good enough and all those things. But if it's God who put me in the room, then he's my confidence. And there's actually not that much required of me to prove or to strive. Like, of course we develop and cultivate our crafts and get better at this beautiful thing called songwriting, but it's not based on us. Like it's like if God put us there, then he's going to keep us there if he wants us there. So I kind of rest in that.
How about from the other side? Can you describe how maybe guys like Chris or Brandon or Steven, when you're in the room together, that they actually participate in like calling you out or, you know, encouraging you or building you up, or just like, I'm just thinking how leaders in churches can just be aware of other voices in the room and raise them up and, you know, and call out their voice. And so have you experienced that?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, especially being here, I feel like, you know, Pastor Stephen was probably one of the first people to even recognize the gift of songwriting in me.
All right.
And help call it out. Help to invite me to rooms, like I said, I didn't deserve to be in. Like it wasn't like I was this amazing songwriter, but I've grown so much through the years having a seat at the table and having like the opportunity to develop that gift. And, you know, people like Chris have been so encouraging. Like I've sent him songs along the way that he's just kind of fanned into flame. Like you need those voices in your life. You need voices to see the gifting and call it out and call you higher. Like, maybe the first song you show somebody isn't amazing. Mine wasn't. And maybe it doesn't get to be heard by anybody else. But it did take those voices in my life to be like, hey, we see this in you. And we're not only going to like encourage you, but we're going to give you a seat at the table to develop that. And so that was huge for me. Like, even if I'm just at first, a lot of times just being in the room, kind of learning, maybe offering some things here and there, but now I've kind of grown to a place where I'm going into the room like I have ideas and I'm able to contribute a lot more than I was at first. And so it's a learning and growing thing for me.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, I hope that just anyone listening into this conversation can feel like inspired and encouraged by you, and just to relate to you. Like you're someone that I can look at and be like, okay, I'm gonna put my voice out there. I'm gonna sit in the room. I'm gonna, just believe that I am called, or I deserve to be here, or I have a voice. I've got something to say. And and as you do that, you develop more confidence, and you're just kind of like a living testimony of, I just feel so inspired to see people like you on the stage. And like I say, I see you behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, and you're just faithful and there. And you have a very special voice that perhaps you've worked on, but it's also just something the Lord's kind of given to you, just a very unique tone and presence, especially with some of those ballads. And man, I love it. I love to hear you sing, and so that's been super encouraging.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm encouraged now. I appreciate
that's good.
that.
That's good. I did have one other thought just in the last couple of minutes, just because I like to find ways to talk with songwriters and worship leaders like yourself, and relate authentically to other people who are just out there in the trenches, in the churches. And I was just talking to a worship leader yesterday or the day before, and kind of just got the sense like, I'm just feeling kind of tired, and I thought, man, I get that. I know when I was a worship pastor and it was September, and I just felt like the burden of fall was upon me. Christmas is only a few months away. There's all these expectations. I just wanted to ask you, do you ever feel tired? And what's that like for you? I mean, you're just in a much, or a different, larger world. There's so many things going on. How do you manage that overwhelmingness of so much responsibility and, things going on? How do you manage just feeling tired at times?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I've definitely had seasons of feeling tired and feeling weary and kind of
Yeah.
I mean, ministry isn't even meant to be easy. Like it's
Yeah.
supposed to cost us something, and it's supposed to it doesn't always fit into a 9 to 5 bubble, and it takes your life. It's your life calling. People that feel that call to ministry will understand that. So yes, we get tired, and we're human. We can only go so far. And I've had seasons of learning what rest looks like for me. Like, okay, I need a Sabbath, and yes, it's a commandment that I've ignored for years, but I actually need it, because then I'm, limping into the weekend, barely having anything in my tank to pour out into leading worship. And so an obvious, probably no duh thing, but it can't be exaggerated or understated, like our relationship with the Lord being a personal, living, breathing relationship, because that's the only thing I've found, as simple as it is, as back to the basics as it is, that I have found keeps me going through the long days, through the weary days, is that I have a real relationship with the Lord, and He leads me and guides me and speaks to me, and that makes the long days and the tired days so worth it, and the seasons of Christmas and rehearsals and all the things so worth it. And it doesn't make it easy to manage all the things, but it makes it God's with me in it. And so I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've been through so many seasons like that, and I would just want to encourage, if you're walking through that right now, for me, it always helps to ask myself, why did I say yes in the first place? And what did my yes encompass? Did I say yes I'm saying yes to lead worship on Sundays, for however many years? Or did I say yes to loving His people when they're going through a hard time? Or did I say yes to stewarding, the hard moments that you feel I don't know, all the different ins and outs we deal with in church ministry, but when I said yes, I meant it. And that it doesn't make it easy, but I mean it.
Right.
It's going to be hard, it's going to be long, but it's worth the cost.
Yeah.
And don't drive yourself in the ground, rest and do all the things you need to do for you, but it is worthy of your life. And so I would hope that is encouraging.
For sure. And, and maybe it could just be encouraging and helpful for worship leaders to remember that we're ministering to people who are coming in on Sunday and they're exhausted, they're burnt out,
Yes.
they're, exasperated, and they need our songs to make it through their week. So maybe that just can be like that inspiration of that's why I want to be there. I want to, lift their hearts, lift their spirits, give them a word of truth. A melody that might just carry through their week. Sometimes I think, in 7 songs that we pick out, there might just be a phrase on a melody that will just stick, and how worth it is to deposit that into their lives. So.
Oh, I love that so much. I can't tell you how many times I've been, feeling like, is what we do matter? All those kind of thoughts that you might come across, and someone saying like, thank you for singing this song. They don't even remember what it's called or who wrote it. Like, they don't necessarily even care about that, but it's like the Lord used it to meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
And it's like I have so many memories in my own life of God doing that for me through other songs, through other worship leaders. And it's just like such a good reminder. So I love that you brought that up.
Really good. Well, that's why we do what I do. I mean, I love sheet music and charts and songs and, all the different publishers and songwriters and stuff like that. But there is that sense of, I think what we do at PraiseCharts and how we come alongside with people like you and Elevation and Bethel and, independent songwriters and other big publisher songwriters all together. But we're just trying to feed some sense of encouragement and truth and vibrancy into people's lives, and I know it can be rough and hard getting through a week for some people, and I don't want to pretend that you and I are like aloof to that, or it's like we get that, we're there with you, we're pressing through. So I've heard your voice in that, and I'm encouraged by you, Tiffany. Thanks for all your music and all the way that you guys work together as a team. I've had a couple of chances to interview Chris and really enjoy him as well, and love the whole ministry that you guys are a part of. And so
thank you so much stuff. And thank you guys for what you do and how you guys support the local church. It means so much. Right on.
Okay, this is Ryan Dahl and Tiffany Hudson, and I hope this can be an encouragement to you. And if you know someone that's maybe a little tuckered out or needs a little jolt of encouragement in their worship leading life, then send them the link to this video. We'll put links to all Tiffany's music in the notes to this, and hope you're encouraged and inspired, and go get them this week. Thanks, Tiffany. Enjoy the sunshine under that orange umbrella. See you then. All right, bye. Nice to meet you.